What if I told you there's a jet out there that wasn't born to be a killer first, but was built for an even tougher job, creating the world's best warriors? Think about it. Training a pilot to handle a fifth-generation fighter like the F-35 or the Su-57 is like taking someone who drives a minivan and throwing them into a Formula One car. The technology gap is just massive. That's where this aircraft comes in. It's so agile that even seasoned F-16 or Eurofighter pilots have to tip their hats to it. It's designed to bite into the air and respond to the pilot's hands faster than they can think. On the outside, it's a beauty, sleek, fast, basically the Ducati of the skies. But underneath that skin, it hides claws that can transform it into one of the scariest light attack aircraft of the modern era. We aren't just talking about flying airshows here. This thing can haul bombs and hit targets for real. Today, I'm taking you on a deep dive into the Aermacchi M-346 Master. It's the trainer jet the world agrees is best in class. And we're going to solve a little mystery. Why does it look exactly like Russia's Yak-130? Are they long-lost brothers, or rivals destined to fight? Let's find out right now. The story of the M-346 doesn't just start in Italy. It kicks off during a historic moment when the Iron Curtain was crumbling. Let's rewind to the early 90s. The Cold War had just ended. The Russian Air Force had a big problem. They needed a new trainer to replace the aging L-39 Albatros. Meanwhile, out west, Italy's Aermacchi, experts in trainer jets, were looking for a partner to launch an ambitious new project. Call it fate, call it luck, but these two giants from opposite sides of the world decided to team up. Aermacchi shook hands with the Yakovlev Design Bureau from Russia. It was one of the most interesting collaborations of the era, combining rugged Russian aerodynamics, known for pulling crazy maneuvers, with durable, high-tech Western avionics and engines. The result was a hybrid prototype called the Yak-130. But the real world isn't a fairy tale. After working together for a while, cultural clashes started to show. Russia wanted a jet that was rugged, tough, and simple, the classic bear style. Italy wanted high-tech, finesse, and precision. Budget issues and conflicting visions escalated, and by the year 2000, the two companies decided to get a divorce and go their separate ways. The split was amicable, though. They agreed that both sides would keep the basic blueprints of the prototype to develop in their own way. It was like splitting the assets down the middle. That is why today you see the Russian Yak-130 and the Italian M-346 looking like twins separated at birth. But what's inside is completely different. Russia went on to build the Yak-130 as a tough, heavy-lifting trainer that can operate from rough airstrips. Aermacchi took that design back to Italy and refined it. They switched materials to carbon fiber and titanium to drop weight, swapped in Western engines, and loaded it with a digital brain. The result? The M-346 Master, a machine that is 100% Western DNA. Now, let's look at the machine itself. Why does this shape make pilots fall in love with it? At first glance, you'll notice these extensions coming off the wing roots. We call those LERX, leading edge root extensions. These aren't just for looks. They are engineering gold. They create a vortex of air over the wings, allowing this jet to pull its nose up to a high angle of attack, up to 40 degrees, without falling out of the sky. Usually, if you pull that hard in a standard jet, the engine stalls or you lose lift instantly. This ability to fly high alpha is the key to training modern fighter pilots. In modern dogfighting, it's not just about top speed, it's about who can point their nose at the enemy first to get a lock and fire. The fact that the M-346 can simulate this means students get used to a knife fight in a phone booth before they ever step into a real fighter. You might be asking, Mick, where's the afterburner? Don't cool fighter jets need to shoot fire out the back? The answer is, not necessarily. Thanks to its lightweight build and aerodynamic design, its two Honeywell F-124 engines can push it right to the edge of the speed of sound, transonic speeds, without breaking a sweat. No afterburner is actually a huge plus. It saves a ton of fuel and drastically reduces maintenance costs. You don't have to constantly replace parts worn out by extreme heat. That is exactly what modern air forces want, smart spending. But if you ask me what the killer app is that puts the M346 above competitors like Korea's T-50 or its Russian cousin, it's a system called ETTS, Embedded Tactical Training System. Picture this: you're a student pilot sitting in the cockpit at 20,000 feet. You look out the window, and you see empty blue sky. But, on your radar screen and in your helmet-mounted display, HMD, the ETTS is overlaying a virtual world on top of reality. Suddenly, the system alerts you, for enemy Su-30s, simulated, are inbound at 3 o'clock. You see the radar lock. You hear the actual warning tones. You have to brake, deploy countermeasures, and fire back. All of this is happening inside the computer. You don't have to fire a $1 million missile, and the Air Force didn't have to pay to fly 4 real aggressor jets up there to chase you. This is Live Virtual Constructive, LVC, technology at its peak. It turns an empty sky into a complex battlefield at the push of a button. Instructors can spawn more enemies, create emergencies, or simulate battle damage in real time. This is why top-tier air forces like Israel, Singapore, and Poland chose the M346. It saves a massive amount of money on training and gets new pilots comfortable with electronic warfare before they hop into an insanely expensive Eurofighter or F-35. You do not want to make rookie mistakes in those jets. The story of the M346 doesn't stop at being a friendly teacher. Leonardo, the manufacturer, saw hidden potential. They thought, since this jet is so agile, carries weight so well, and has a super smart computer, why don't we give it some real teeth? Enter the aggressive sibling, the M346FA, fighter attack. They upgraded it from a standard trainer by adding the Grifo 346 radar, a high-performance fire control radar that can track and lock targets from miles away. They increased the hardpoints to 7, allowing it to carry laser-guided bombs, GPS-guided dams, air-to-air missiles like the Iris-T or AIM-9, and even gun pods. This transformation turns the M346FA into one of the most cost-effective light combat aircraft for the era of asymmetric warfare. Think about it, for counterterrorism or border patrol, you don't need an F-16 burning thousands of dollars of fuel just to loiter in the air. You use the M346FA. It costs a fraction to operate, does the same job, and can actually fly slower and tighter to support ground troops better than a supersonic jet can. It is the smart choice for countries with limited budgets or those needing to fill the gap between trainers and frontline fighters. Alright, we've hyped it up enough. You probably want to see the hard numbers. How capable is it, and what's the price tag? I've summarized the key specs in the rough order of magnitude, ROM, pricing based on past deals right here in this table. Note, system price includes spares, training, and ground support. From this table, you can see why the price is so interesting. If we look at the flyaway cost, it starts at just around $20 to $25 million. That is a steal for a twin-engine jet with this kind of performance. But, in real government-to-government deals, we have to look at the system price. If it's the standard trainer model, like what Israel or Poland bought, the price settles around $30 to $35 million per unit, including simulators and long-term spares. However, if you want to go all out like the Nigerian Air Force, who just ordered the M346FA for actual combat operations, the price jumps to about $50 to $60 million. That covers the Grifo radar, weapons integration, and electronic warfare suites. So, what do these numbers tell us? We have to be clear, the M346FA wasn't built to dogfight an F-16 or a Gripen in a high-intensity war. It would lose that fight. But its selling point is value. Think about it. A new Block 70 F-16 costs a fortune to buy and tens of thousands of dollars per hour to fly. Using a jet that expensive for border patrol or hitting insurgents is like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. It's overkill. But if you use the M346FA, which is half the purchase price and costs 3 to 4 times less to fly per hour, you get the mission done just as effectively, but you save a massive amount of the defense budget. That is the true definition of smart defense. To wrap this up, the Aermacchi M-346 Master isn't just a trainer. It's a bridge connecting basic skills to the future of aerial warfare. It proves that smart design isn't always about top speed, it's about simulation, agility, and fitting the needs of modern pilots. From a separated sibling of Russia to an Italian masterpiece, the M-346 has written a new chapter in aviation history. I believe we're going to see this thing soaring through the skies, training Top Gun pilots around the world for decades to come. What about you guys? What do you think of this Ducati with wings? If your country was looking for a new light attack squadron, do you think the M-346 FA is a worthy replacement for older jets? Or is there a better option out there, like the T-50 or the Scorpion? Drop a comment and let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. For today, I'm Mick signing off. See you in the next video.